The first exemplar presentation is to Nadine Jones, the General Counsel and Senior Vice President at NLADA. And to present Nadine's award is her friend, honoree, who's going to do a proper introduction for Nadine. So, join me in welcoming.
Present Nadine, my friend, with this Exemplar Award for her commitment to racial equity and justice for all. I've known Nadine forever, literally. We met in college, and that's quite a long time ago. Actually, over 30 years. Nadine and I were classmates, friends, and mentors to each other. But today, I'm honored to share what makes Nadine an exceptional choice for this award. She's not only an outstanding lawyer and corporate executive, she's a super mom. Her son's here. Devoted daughter, her parents are here, and she's a dear friend. And in the spirit of this award, she selflessly champions others. Nadine and I are polar opposites in many ways. The fact that she is still a dear friend is a testament to her unique ability to focus on what's best in others. She is unwavering in her own beliefs while being able to validate the beliefs of others without judgment. My daughter recently graduated from college, and one of the themes from her graduation was, unsurprisingly for this class of 2023, unexpected surprises come out of unsettling life events. Recognizing Nadine tonight is an example of this truth, and here's why. As many of us recall, in March of 2020, we went into lockdown, then we witnessed, somewhat in slow motion, the murders of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. Around this time, my 14-year-old son asked for a new bike to escape the indoors. And my husband's response was to buy him a bike and then give him the talk and explain to him that young black men are not typically seen riding around our neighborhood. After George Floyd was killed, I called Nadine in tears because I realized that the talk was not necessarily going to save him. I also felt that doing nothing was no longer acceptable. And I think because my own personal response in the past to these dreadful encounters, out of my own trauma, was to sort of bury my head in the sand and move my family to a community where I felt that they could be safer, it occurred to me that we could no longer shelter our kids from these atrocities. So I called Nadine. Because long before 2020, Nadine had already demonstrated that she was committed to using her training and her care for others in the fight for justice. She organized a group of law school classmates after Barack Obama was elected, and after the deaths of Eric Garner and Mike Brown, and they sent a letter to Attorney General Eric Holder at the time with a list of demands. So this time is no different. With the financial support of her employer, Nadine took 6 months off from her day job and worked tirelessly to give birth to an organization that we founded that is committed to creating healthy communities for all. Nadine worked tirelessly. She made calls, built bridges, created new relationships, connected with lawmakers, law enforcement agents, corporate executives, psychologists, technical experts, police chiefs, and yes, even the head of the police union, on this improbable journey to change hearts and minds. Because she knew that changing laws is not enough. Here are 3 of the most powerful lessons that we learned through Nadine's work. The power of and thinking. People are not always good or bad, right or wrong. There's incredibly more value in honesty when we resist our tendency to choose sides. The importance of seeing each other, embracing our shared humanity. And this one was really important to her. The importance of centering the community in our quest to create an equal and just society. So please join me in congratulating Nadine for her unwavering commitment to creating healthy communities for all, proving that we can do well and do good with people and companies.
for over 30 years of friendship. Thank you for encouraging me to go to law school when I didn't think I was smart enough. And she said, Nadine, if I could do it, you could do it too. And I thought, maybe she's right. Thank you for always climbing the toughest mountains before everyone else, and then turning around and telling those of us behind you where to step and where not to step, so that our climb wouldn't have to be as difficult. That's all you, and I love it. Thank you. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to my son for being here. Thank you to my Howard Law family for being here. Everyone's welcome there. Thank you to my Kunanaga corporate family for being here. More to come on that. But thank you to NLADA for this beautiful night. I mean, you can't see yourselves from here, but you are gorgeous. Like, this night is just spectacular. And I thank you for recognizing the work that you've done. But I also want to thank you for the work that you do day to day, because I know you think in terms of charity as though we are doing a benefit for others, which we are. And I think that's the right attitude to take. But I'm not sure I want to live in a society where the work of NLADA is not being done. So in that respect, they're elevating others, but they're also elevating us. So that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit. I won't take too much time. But my key takeaway from the initiative advancing the Blue and Black Partnership is interconnectedness. We are interconnected. Don't ask me how, I don't know. But somehow when you rise, I rise. Somehow when I better myself, it's bettering you. And these are the lessons that I really wanted to share with all of you. So before, just really, really quickly, let me just take you back to how the initiative was born. It was June 2020. We've been on lockdown since March. We were Zooming, working from home. And for those of us with school-age children, we were introduced to a new nightmare, otherwise known as virtual school. And that was quite special, quite special. And so if you look at that, then we're looking at these deaths, numbers that we can't even comprehend of deaths, from a virus that we also couldn't comprehend. And you've got trauma. Then I want you to layer on 2 additional things that deeply impacted the initiative. It was a viral video of a young man jogging in Georgia. It came out in April. A young black man jogging in Georgia who seemingly was corralled by 3 white men and shot on the street and left for dead. And we were stunned. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, like as parents of black children, we try to anticipate where racial harm will be, and we teach our children accordingly. We did not see jogging as a threat, and it floored us. And now we're starting to unravel. And then what seemed to be on the heels of that was the George Floyd video, and now we're in full-on breakdown, sobbing in between Zoom calls. I mean, it was just ridiculous, calling each other sorry. And we made a decision, myself, Emma, and the other co-founder, 3 Howard Law alumni, 3 black women, mothers of black sons and daughters of black sons in particular, and we made a decision to enter this space. We're also corporate executives, and it never occurred to us that we couldn't make a difference. We had had immense success in the corporate space, and we knew that we could work with anyone. We could work with police. We wanted to work with the police. We wanted to work with the subject matter experts, go into the space, what's working, what's not working. I think at one point they talked about KPIs, like it was ridiculous, it was so corporate. But we wanted to work with stakeholders who can process information, who can digest information. We worked with members from the private sector, from, of course, law enforcement, across the board. And we produced very tangible, useful goods because that is our corporate training. And so we knew why we wanted to do it. We knew what we were going to do. The question was how. We needed a full-time person to do this. And so a decision was made that I should be the first executive director of the initiative. And I said, well, how's that going to work since I have a full-time job? And Emma said, well, just ask your company if they can give you some time off. She said, don't worry about the money. We'll make sure you and Stefan, you won't starve. We'll figure out the money. Just ask for some time off. And she said, the worst that they could say is no. And I thought, there might be worse things than no that I could think of. But fine, let me ask them. I'm going to wrap it up really soon, but I just need to share with you that I went to my CEO at the time, the head of HR at the time, the GC at the time, 3 white men, and that's relevant, because I shared with them a really deep and profound Black mother pain. And I shared with them that I wasn't functioning, and I needed to do this. And I couldn't explain it, I couldn't really articulate it. They listened more than they spoke, and they said, Nadine, give us some time, we'll get back to you. And they did, and they got back to me in less than 2 weeks. And basically this is what they said: we see you, we believe in you, we believe in what you want to do, we believe you can do it, and we support you. We're putting you on fully paid leave for 6 months to stand up for you. It's stunning. There were companies at the time donating millions of dollars into this space, and by all means, keep donating the money. But when I share that story, I've shared with law enforcement chiefs, I've shared with state senators. I had to testify before the New Jersey Senate. I've shared with Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. I've shared with community organizations, big and small, and the reaction every time is the same, like, oh my gosh, what a contribution by your company. And I don't make millions of dollars. But yet still, somehow that contribution of giving up their own employee to stand up to this work just resonated with people. And that is the family, the Kunanaga family, that I was still with. All right, I'm out of time. We're going to start playing the Oscar wrap-it-up music, and I just want to quickly share what we were able to accomplish with our corporate skill set, our Howard initiative, and with just touching and working with people across all politics, races, geographies, beliefs, but we each wanted something better, and we achieved so much. We produced a mindfulness tool for law enforcement. We produced a community assessment tool for police agencies to assess where they fall along the continuum. We funded the police chief search for that very same community in Georgia where we saw Ahmaud Arbery gunned down. And we did it behind the scenes because that's what we do in corporate. And we received a resolution of thanks from the Board of Commissioners from that county. So I'm telling you all of this, especially to my corporate brothers and sisters here. You have got incredible skill sets that the public sector space desperately needs. You can work with stakeholders across any board. You can process information, you can digest information, and you can produce a widget that works. That is like magic in the public sector space, okay, in the social justice space. Give money, there's nothing wrong with that, but give of yourself. That's what I want to encourage you to do. And the last thing I want to leave with you is a quote by MLK Jr. that didn't mean as much to me before the initiative as it does now, and this is it. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all of us indirectly.